The WNBA are even throwing digs towards Caitlin Clark in the offseason. This is crazy. They recently posted on X and had the audacity to leave out Caitlin Clark when talking about the top 10 assists of the season. Why not use a photo of the player who led the WNBA in assists when talking about assists? So Gray had the most assists this last season? Asking for a friend? I'll say it again. Putting Gray's picture here is nasty work. This account is ran by an idiot.
The WNBA has been a mess this year. It has been so unprofessional, and they need to step it up, and they need to step it up quick, and they also need to, I don't know if an apology is warranted to Caitlin Clark, or they just need to, in general, do better.
The season's over, yet the hate for Caitlin Clark continues. Whilst NBA viewership has dropped massively, you would think WNBA would spend this offseason realizing what CC has done for them, but no.
You're going to make these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger, like MJ. We shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her. Now, I know somebody who said exactly what she said, but said it 4 months ago. Ain't none of my business. I don't even know why I brought it up, Ocho.
But who said that, huh?
Caitlin Clark, one of the brightest stars in the WNBA, has captivated fans and basketball lovers with her talent, creativity, and sheer dedication to the game. Known for her outstanding playmaking skills and ability to lead her team, the Indiana Fever, Clark was a standout player this past season. But amid Clark's rise, there has been a troubling narrative that has left fans puzzled and even outraged. The WNBA, the very organization that should be celebrating and highlighting a player of her caliber, seems to have taken a back seat when it comes to recognizing her contributions.
And the game afterwards got 485,000 views. So the Fever, in their game against the Minnesota Lynx, was 1.219 million. On Ion! On Ion!
For a player leading in assists, fans expected her to be front and center in the league's promotional materials and social media highlights. Yet, time and again, Clark appears to be overlooked or downplayed. The recent controversy surrounding a WNBA social media post, where the league featured Chelsea Gray instead of Clark on a top 10 assists post, became the latest spark in a firestorm of fan discontent. The story of Caitlin Clark's journey in the WNBA this season is not just one of skill and achievement, but of the ongoing tension between her supporters and the league's treatment of her. This controversy, centered on what many see as a pattern of disrespect, has raised questions about the WNBA's promotional choices, its commitment to recognizing talent, and the impact on fans who are passionate about Clark and her career.
I wanted to hold my judgment on this, but at this point, the WNBA is getting downright embarrassing. You're not going to gaslight me into thinking that the media is the one who created this narrative that a lot of players don't like Caitlin Clark. At this point, it is clear as day. We've seen so many examples of hard fouls, dirty plays, and teams celebrating when she gets chucked to the floor. Most of the new eyeballs that are on the WNBA right now are there because of Caitlin Clark.
Recently, the WNBA made a social media post that sparked immediate backlash among Caitlin Clark's fans. The post was meant to celebrate the top 10 assists of the year, a highlight reel that should have been a celebration of the league's best playmakers. Given that Caitlin Clark led the league in assists, many fans naturally expected her to be the star of this feature. Yet, to their surprise, the WNBA chose to use a picture of Chelsea Gray on the front cover instead of Clark. For fans, this decision was not only confusing, but also disappointing. Caitlin Clark wasn't just another player with good assists, she was the leader in assists for the season. Her unique style of passing, characterized by bold, often unexpected moves that perfectly set up her teammates, made her the most talked-about playmaker in the league. Clark's passes weren't just functional, they were thrilling, creative, and often highlighted in fan discussions for their flair and effectiveness.
I say it all the time, I'm very excited to see how it translates into W. And again, eyes on her means eyes on us.
Yes. That's what I said, it don't matter about, it can translate or not, it's gonna be manufactured. If the WNBA is not manufacturing for her to put the eyes on it,
I mean,
and they
shit, they
failed.
already are. He went from one nationally televised game to 36.
That's college.
In choosing to feature a different player on the cover, the WNBA missed an opportunity to shine a light on Clark's exceptional contributions. Fans saw this as a deliberate choice to overlook her achievements, leading to a wave of criticism across social media. The decision left supporters questioning why the WNBA seemed reluctant to put Clark in the spotlight, even when her stats and play style clearly warranted it. This single post became a symbol of what many fans see as an ongoing issue with the WNBA's approach to Caitlin Clark. It wasn't just about one picture. It was about respect, recognition, and fairness for a player who has given her all to the game and consistently elevated her team's performance. The WNBA's post sparked an immediate reaction from Caitlin Clark's fans, who took to social media to voice their frustration. For many, this felt like the latest instance in a series of decisions where the WNBA seemed to downplay Clark's impact. The reaction wasn't just a few disgruntled comments. It was a wave of passionate criticism, with fans expressing their disappointment and even anger.
Only time where I made a mistake talking about Caitlin and what she's done was on the podcast back in February that I apologize for. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I really am.
Fans flooded the WNBA's social media pages with comments, pointing out that Clark led the league in assists and deserved to be the face of any content celebrating that achievement. They shared statistics, recounted her best assists of the season, and reminded the WNBA of just how much Clark has done for the league's visibility. The fact that she was not chosen as the cover for the top assists post felt like an insult to her dedication and her fans' loyalty. The passionate reaction of fans demonstrates just how important Clark's presence is to the WNBA's audience. Her supporters feel connected to her journey and her achievements, and they expect the league to show that same level of respect. The decision to feature another player on the post left many feeling let down, leading to calls for the WNBA to reconsider its promotional choices and give Clark the recognition she deserves.
And if I said to any of these people who think Caitlin Clark is not the Rookie of the Year, I'd say, who would you want to start your franchise with? Now, I'm not going to put Asia Wilson in there. I'm just saying between these two. Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple. There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
As the season progressed, fans began to feel that Caitlin Clark was consistently being overlooked in favor of other players. This perceived bias became a recurring theme among her supporters, who pointed to various instances where Clark seemed to be left out of WNBA promotions or downplayed in favor of others. The social media post featuring Chelsea Gray was just the latest example of what fans saw as a deliberate attempt to avoid giving Clark her due credit. The frustration among fans goes beyond a single incident. They feel that the WNBA is trying to spread the spotlight rather than acknowledge Clark's singular achievements. While promoting multiple players is a fair approach, fans argue that Clark's exceptional performance this season should make her an exception. She didn't just have a good season. She led the league in assists and did so in a way that brought attention to the WNBA.
How crazy was this season versus the seasons past?
Our jersey sales were up 1,193%. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and we're thrilled about it. But it brought visibility to the whole team of the Fever and to the WNBA. But if we just want to keep it in Indiana, we look at ticket sales sold out every night, over 17,000 fans in our games at home. When Caitlin announced that she was coming out into the draft on a Thursday afternoon, from that time to Sunday night, we had over 6,000 phone calls, people wanting to buy season.
Supporters have speculated on why the WNBA might choose to promote other players over Clark. Some fans believe the league doesn't want to appear too focused on one player, fearing accusations of bias or favoritism. Others suggest that the WNBA is trying to highlight other players to create a more balanced league image, avoiding putting all the attention on one standout figure. Caitlin Clark's performance as the league leader in assists is a testament to her incredible skill, vision, and playmaking ability. What sets Clark apart is her flair and unpredictability. Her assists are characterized by fast decisions, pinpoint accuracy, and a deep understanding of her teammates' positioning. Fans have come to expect the unexpected from Clark. She's known for passing at angles others might not attempt, threading the ball through narrow spaces, and delivering assists that look as though they belong in a highlight reel.
We got a lot of players, a lot of these wonderful ladies who bust their tail to make the WNBA what it was. Here's the reality. It wasn't what it is. The quality of basketball may have been up to snuff, and you had somebody as popular as Cheryl Swoops who had her own signature shoe, had to deal with Nike and all of this other stuff. But the bottom line is, very few people gave a damn.
Clark's passing isn't just flashy, it's effective. She understands the game deeply and uses her skills to help her team succeed. Being the league leader in assists wasn't just about high numbers. It was about how her play helped elevate the Indiana Fever. Her teammates became better scorers because of her, and the Fever's offense revolved around her ability to create scoring opportunities. For fans, Clark's omission from the WNBA's top assists post felt like a snub not just to her stats but to the artistry she brought to the game. Clark's assists were more than just numbers on a scoreboard. They were moments that inspired fans, raised the bar for the league, and made her a joy to watch. Many believe that if anyone deserves to be the face of WNBA assists, it's Caitlin Clark. As the WNBA grows, one of its biggest challenges is building a solid fan base and maintaining viewership, especially in comparison to the NBA. Caitlin Clark has been a crucial figure in helping the league attract new fans, as her exciting play style and remarkable talent have drawn viewers who might not have watched women's basketball otherwise. Her popularity has added value to the league and introduced new audiences to the WNBA.
I bet good money within 10 years, colleges will lecture on the Caitlin Clark effect. Last night was the biggest night in WNBA history, and that's predominantly thanks to Caitlin Clark. That was the first time that tickets were sold for the draft, and they sold out in 15 minutes of launch. 1,000 people. Even when everyone and their third cousin knew the Indiana Fever were selecting Clark first overall, she was the story of the night. I mean, when you're more box office than any non-NFL sport in this country, that's what
In a time when the NBA is seeing drops in viewership, the WNBA has a unique opportunity to carve out its own fan base. Players like Caitlin Clark, who bring energy, skill, and a unique style to the game, are essential in capturing the attention of sports fans. By promoting players like Clark, the WNBA has the chance to grow its audience, attract sponsorships, and establish itself as a major sports league. By not giving Clark the recognition she deserves, fans feel the WNBA may be missing a valuable opportunity to expand its reach. When a player is as captivating as Clark, her visibility can serve as a gateway for new fans. The league's perceived reluctance to promote her achievements doesn't just affect Clark, it affects the potential growth of the WNBA itself.
A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. But there was a lot of people tried to make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize.
Throughout the season, Clark's name has been pulled into various controversies, many of which were sparked by factors outside her control. Whether it's the WNBA's marketing choices, criticism from fans, or media debates, Clark has faced her fair share of challenges off the court. Yet through it all, she has remained focused on her game, letting her performance speak for itself.
Something as simple as our terrific mascot, Freddie Fever, his appearance requests went up 150% this season. So you talk about the Fever, the team, which is what we've been working on. 5 years ago when I got this job, we put together a strategy, said commit, compete, and contribute. Those 3 C's will drive us to a championship culture.
Clark's dedication to her craft is evident. Despite the criticism and lack of recognition, she hasn't let it affect her play. She continues to show up for her team, push her limits, and make the WNBA a better place simply by being a part of it. For her fans, this resilience only strengthens their admiration. Clark's focus and professionalism are qualities that make her a role model, showing young athletes that success can come from hard work and dedication, even in the face of challenges. The lack of WNBA support fans noticed that when Clark faced criticism or negative comments, the WNBA largely stayed silent. This lack of support left many feeling that the league wasn't willing to stand up for its players, especially one as high-profile as Clark. For supporters, the WNBA's silence seemed to validate the negativity, adding to the frustration and disappointment they felt.
Especially Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is coming. Some people think she's already arrived. I don't. I think she's going to be even better. And I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal.
Now that the season has ended, fans hoped the WNBA would finally give Caitlin Clark the recognition she deserves. However, nearly a month later, many feel that the league is still reluctant to acknowledge her accomplishments. This continued lack of recognition has left fans feeling disappointed and wondering why the WNBA seems so hesitant. With no sign of the WNBA honoring Clark's achievements, fans are growing increasingly vocal. They've watched an entire season where Clark excelled but didn't receive the spotlight they believe she deserved. This unresolved tension has created a divide, with fans feeling let down by the league's choices and hoping for change.
It's called Aura. 17,000 fans attended a draft party in Indiana. Her Fever jersey sold out on Fanatics within an hour. And according to Fanatics, she has the highest selling jersey on a draft night.
For Caitlin Clark, the upcoming season holds promise and potential. With her skills, passion, and determination, she's likely to continue breaking records, thrilling audiences, and elevating her team. Fans want to see her contributions recognized not only for the sake of fairness, but because they believe she embodies the spirit of the league. Next season, fans hope to see the WNBA take steps toward redemption by embracing Caitlin Clark's achievements and treating her with the respect she deserves. This is an opportunity for the league to show that it values its players, that it listens to its fans, and that it is committed to promoting fairness.
To me, Angel may have exceeded expectations, even more so than Kate.
For fans, the 2025 season represents a turning point. A chance for the WNBA to demonstrate its dedication to promoting and celebrating the achievements of all its players. The league has the opportunity to rebuild trust, to inspire loyalty, and to create an environment where players like Caitlin Clark can thrive and receive the recognition they've worked so hard to achieve. Caitlin Clark's fans are ready to rally behind her once again, hopeful that this year the WNBA will celebrate her accomplishments, honor her contributions, and recognize the unique talent she brings to women's basketball. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.